seemed like it went live and then...
A
Okay.
short monologue and... Okay, chat. Okay.
Natin ha. Ito? Hindi, yung mga damit na ito.
Oh yeah, the t-shirts. The t-shirts are on. I guess it depends. Let's go. Okay, almost ready. Oh, finally. Finally. Okay. Everyone's here in the chat. Okay. Can anyone hear me right now in the chat right now? Okay. I think we are almost set. Oh, finally. Evie, oh yes, thank you so much, Evie Winters. Okay, almost set. Live notifications ready. Looks like we're good to go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and happy time zones to everyone. This is Mr. Parmy. How's everyone going? And we are on day 7 of our 12 days of Christmas streams. Yes, it is 12 days, 12 straight days of streams. We're on day 7, and Christmas is right around the corner. I know most of you are ready to prepare some gifts, even though we are on the middle of the. I think we're still in the pandemic, but we're here. We're still here, having some having some wonderful times. I hope your Christmas plans are ready because I know most of your relatives or your loved ones are so excited to see all of your gifts. And right now for our Christmas streams, since we are on day 7, for today, I'm going to interview someone because not only is not only this is my first time interviewing here on Twitch, but also I'm going to interview one of my closest friends, one of my streamer friends. Most of you know her, most of you haven't, but I'm going to introduce to you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TaffyTheLogolept. Hi there, Taffy.
Hi. Wow.
Yes, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for the time interviewing you. And for those of you who don't know who Taffy is, we met through Twitch around 2018 and so on through going to say this through FBE Live, and then we
Hmm.
met right away through her streams, all the way to Chelsea streams and so on and so forth. Before we get on to those questions, how are you? How's it going so far?
Um, I am okay. I'm currently cold,
Yeah,
but I'm good.
speaking of
A pretty
cold,
normal Sunday for me here. So,
wow.
yep.
Yeah, speaking of cold, is not only it is cold here, it's also a rainy weather here.
Mm.
Yes, it's very very cold here. And are you ready for Christmas? Do you have any plans for Christmas?
I am ready. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot going on because of COVID things. We're just gonna go to my parents' house, and they're gonna get some good time with my daughter, their grandbaby, and my sister is there too. So that's gonna be it. Just my parents, my sister, my husband, daughter, and me.
Wow, this is good. Oh, it will be a wonderful time. Okay, so let's get on with those questions right away. Uh, how how is 2020 for you so far?
It's okay. I think 2020, I don't know, has been a great year for anybody, but I think all things considered, it has been a good year. And realistically, like for those who don't know, my daughter is almost 2. She'll be 2 in January. So for me personally, I really don't think that 2020 would have gone much differently because with the age that she is, I'm a stay-at-home mom and I take care of her. So I'm pretty much at the house all the time anyway. But it was nice to know that I had the option of getting babysitters or going out to see friends and family more often if I wanted that. But that hasn't happened as much this year. So, but realistically, we're doing okay. We're all healthy. We're financially good, and I know a lot of people this year have had trouble with all those things. So, thankfully, it's been as far as 2020 goes, it's been a relatively okay year.
Yeah, yeah, that's good to hear, and glad that you are doing well with you, Shane, Bailey, and the rest of your family. And right now, let's get on with some streaming questions. First of all, what is the origin of your username?
So, my name is actually Taffy. My first name is Taffy. It's short for taffeta, but everybody calls me Taffy. And when I worked at my university writing center when I was a graduate student, one thing that I did was I did a word of the day, so that when students came in, they could see like a word of the day on the board. So it was my job to find a word and put its definition and encourage students to use it in sentences on the board. And wordnik.com, which actually I can type it in your chat because it's spelled a little differently.
Okay.
It's spelled like this. They have a really great word of the day list, and one day their word was logolept, and I saw that it meant someone who was crazy about words, and I was like, that is such a great word that I've never heard before. And so, yeah, when I was thinking about streaming languagey type things and sharing my love of linguistics, I thought, you know what, I'm a logolept, and I'm encouraging other people to become logolepts. So, yeah.
Yeah. Glad to hear the origin of your username. Now we all know how it started, and glad to hear about it. And how did you join Twitch?
I like. You mean like how what brought me to Twitch first?
Yes, like what brought you into Twitch? Were you a viewer
Yeah.
first
So
before streaming? Were you
sorry, say that again.
were you a streamer first before becoming a streamer?
No. So I well, it's kind of weird. So I've been a huge fan of YouTube. Like YouTube has been my primary mode of entertainment for like a good grief, like 10 or 12 years now. And so I learned about Twitch when some of the people that I was watching on YouTube joined Twitch. And I think that the first channel that I watched may have been FBE, or it may have been Wheezy Waiter, who had a gaming channel. He still does, but he's not active on it. He had a gaming channel called Wheezy Games, and I thought, I was like, oh, this is really cool because it's like interactive YouTube. So I can watch people that I watch on YouTube, but I can chat with people who also like these content creators. So when I started watching Twitch, it was in 2018, like you said, and it was when I was pregnant. So I was tired all the time and I felt sick a lot. And a lot of times when I was home, I just wanted to be still and sit and just relax. And so Twitch was actually a big part of my pregnancy, where I would just come home from work and lay on the bed with my
Yes.
feet up and
Oh,
get on
yes,
Twitch.
yes.
So that was kind of how I was introduced to Twitch.
Mm. And how is your streaming experience so far? You've been streaming quite often, to be honest. And once again, how's
Yeah.
your streaming experience so far? Did you enjoy? Did you not enjoy? Uh, what how's your experience there on Twitch?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I started streaming in 2018 in July, I think. And it's interesting. I guess this is kind of part two to the last question. I started streaming because like I said, I watched a bunch of YouTube, and I like to watch educational type content. Like some of my favorite channels are Smarter Every Day, Crash Course, Vlog Brothers, and so I like things that are like silly and educational. And I really wanted, because I was a language and linguistics student, like I really wanted to find linguistics centered content creators, and I just wasn't finding any. And I even asked professors and stuff, like, are there any resources that you use in class to like show people like the fun of languages or linguistics? And my professors were like, no, I haven't really found anything. And so I sort of went on this hunt for different podcasts and YouTube channels and things like that. And this was in 2016 at this time. And I just couldn't find anything except for one podcast called Talk the Talk, based in Australia. And I was like, well, if no one's out here doing this, I want to do it. So I actually started as a podcast and as a YouTube channel, but it was a lot of work because it was really research heavy. And so then when I started, I kind of, I don't want to say I gave up on it, but it was just a lot more work than I thought it would be. So I was putting out videos like maybe once every 3 months or something, and releasing episodes just every couple of months. So when I thought about Twitch, a lot of the friends like you that I met were from many different cultures and spoke many different languages and were interested in language learning and language acquisition and stuff. And I already felt like, just from the friends that I had met in different chats, I already had a bigger audience than I felt like I had on YouTube and on podcasts. So, and I thought, well, if I stream, I could still essentially do the same thing, and I don't have to necessarily research or edit. I just press record and I go. So, and I think it has been overall more quote unquote successful than it was as a podcast. I do enjoy it. I do think that because Twitch is primarily a gaming platform, I do try to stream language games and sort of teach and share about linguistic things through that. And so I think that it's just fun because you're gaming, and it's like you're hanging out with your friends and they're in chat and y'all are talking together. So I think overall it's been positive. I do think scheduling has been one of the bigger issues, where like for me now, I can only really stream when the baby is sleeping. Excuse me.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
primarily stream when she's napping. And so the people who watch my streams know that I don't necessarily have a set start or end time. It's kind of like, it's like 1:30ish to 3ish, depending on when she wakes up. So there are things like that that are kind of frustrating. But no, I enjoy it. I really do.
Yeah. It's glad that we are all enjoying Twitch, and not and Twitch is not only just a gaming platform. We g- have this is the platform that we share our thoughts, our feelings, and we do our all stuff like cooking and so on and so forth. Yes, streaming on Twitch has
Mm-hmm.
been a wonderful time, and I'm glad to enjoy streaming and glad to meet everyone, including you as well. And yeah, overall Twitch has been fun so far. And next,
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Hmm.
yeah, follow up to this question. Since you are a streamer and also a teacher, do any of your colleagues know that you're on Twitch?
Yeah, actually, I don't teach as much anymore, like in a classroom, because I quit my full time job when my baby was born. But I do still substitute, and I do a lot of tutoring, and I tell like a lot of my friends and students that I'm on here, and especially friends that are interested in learning some of the languages that I stream. So like when I first started streaming Duolingo, I was working on my Mandarin. And so friends that I knew who were learning Mandarin, I was like, hey, you can always come hang out on stream and ask questions or learn with us. And then now that I'm working on Spanish, I have people that, like some friends of mine who are working on their Spanish who come and join the streams. But I did one time, just recently, had a student who came in, and he was like, I'm Sammy. And I was like, I've taught like 10 different Sammys. You have to tell me which Sammy you are. And I figured out which student of mine he was, and he was back in his home country, and it was really cool. He was like, it's really great to hear your voice and see you again, even if it's on something like this. I really miss you as a teacher, and it nearly made me cry on stream that he, joined the chat like that.
Yeah, glad that one of your students glad to see you're watching your streams. And it's been a great it's been great that most of the colleagues or your students are watching your streams. It's a good feeling, you know.
Hmm.
And by the way, who inspired you to stream? We all have our favorite
Who
streamers on
is?
Twitch, and we all have our inspirations. Like, I really want to be like her or him, really to be like them. So, who inspired you to stream? Who motivated you to stream on Twitch?
Who motivated me to stream? Like, I feel like that's almost two different questions. So, who inspired me to stream is realistically my students. Like I said, I feel like there are a lot of times that education can be really expensive and time consuming and demanding. And so when I was even going back to when I was thinking of doing this like a podcast, I was one of my biggest reasons for doing it was like I just want something that's free and accessible and enjoyable and informative, so that people like me who are interested in sort of learning outside of a classroom in a fun way can have that easily for them. But I did have, friends on Twitch that I saw starting to stream that kind of motivated me. Like I know Pashepi was one. People in your community probably maybe know who Pashepi is. And then um, Alex Wex. I don't. He's changed his screen name. I think he's just Mr. Wex now.
Yeah, it's Mr.
um, I
Wex.
talked. I talked to him, and I talked to Mark Schneider, who is his handle is your friend Marcus, which he's been streaming on YouTube recently. Not so much on Twitch, but he does still stream under his channel Nerd Fiction on YouTube. But both of them, like, encouraged me sort of logistically. They were like, yeah, you have the means to do this. You would be an interesting streamer because you offer unique content. And so they were kind of the ones that sort of encouraged me and motivated me to do it. And then I also had, like I said, I had asked some professors when I was still a student about, do you have content like this that you know of? And in particular, one of my professors, her name is Dr. Aleka Blackwelder. She's from Greece, and she's a huge motivation to me, period. But she moved me so much. She particularly said, she was like, you are the perfect person to do this kind of thing because you're so interested and you're so energetic and you're so well spoken. And she just like kept going on and on. I was like, oh
Yes.
wow, hey,
Oh,
hold on.
yeah.
But it really meant a lot to me. Think about the one like point it to the one person who really sort of put a fire under me to be like, you can't do this. It was her. Because, sometimes I still to this day have feelings of like, well, I don't know enough, I'm not super professional. I'm not really, even like sometimes, you think about, I'm not pretty enough. I don't have, some of the same qualities as a lot of other streamers or educators or something. So she's one of the ones that really was the person that was like, you would be perfect at this. You would be awesome for that job. And if you did stuff like that, I would totally tell my students and use it in my classroom and that kind of thing. So she was really inspirational to me.
Yeah. So it's like you want to be your so it's like you want to be your own you. You want you're unique. You're unique, and you want to do provide more content in your own way, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as streamers, we all have our ups and downs. We all have our challenges. Aside from the victories that we
Mm-hmm.
have on and our achievements that we have, what are your ups and downs when it comes to streaming?
I think that it's kind of, for me at least, it's sort of the same thing, and it's just, well, my ups and my downs are related. So let me explain. Like, I think that one of my biggest sort of inner struggles with streaming is thinking about like, do people actually care about this? Because, like I said earlier, especially on this platform, when it's mostly gaming, I keep thinking like, well, people don't come to Twitch to learn stuff. People don't come to Twitch to be in a class. That's not why people come here. And so sometimes I get kind of these low times where I think, people don't care about this. I'm just, you know, no one really cares like I care, I guess.
Yes.
But then there are
Yeah.
other moments when I do see my community like get excited about stuff, or like for example, one really big up, I guess, for me earlier this year was when I joined the Duolingo team and when I joined their streamer program, because like I contacted them to join their team because I was like, hey, this is cool. I'd love to be part of this community of other language centered streamers. But then they contacted me back and they were like, hey, we've seen your content. We really like it. We want you to be on our streamer program. And so that to me was like a really big pat on the back of like this big company telling me like, we see what you're doing, we really appreciate it, you're doing a great job. And so, in those times when I feel like, well, no one cares about this, I think about that. And I've made a lot of connections through Duolingo because of that. And so that, like, the lows and the highs are kind of related, where sometimes I feel like, well, no one really cares about this. And then the times when it's been good, I'm like, oh, so people do actually care about this.
Yeah, and speaking of Duolingo and games, uh, gotta say, yeah, you're doing great with the streaming now that you're on the Duolingo streaming program, and uh, Duolingo is like one of the ways of providing alternative content now that everyone are at their homes because of the pandemic and such. We gotta say
Mm-hmm.
games like Duolingo are one of the best ways to provide educational content for students who are right now in the pandemic. In my own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Duolingo, another thing that I've been enjoying your streams is free rice. In, I've been
Mm-hmm.
I've been enjoying playing free rice. So I when I asked that when I shared to you on your Discord that I want to stream free rice, and I gotta say I really enjoyed free rice. For those of you who don't know what
Mm-hmm.
free rice is, it's a game. It's a free to play game where you answer those multiple choice type of questions, and it has a lot of categories from language to countries to food and so on. And uh, it's been a great game. And uh, what and for you, what was it like streaming games like Duolingo and Free Rise?
Yeah, so it's definitely. Well, let me back up a minute and say I do really like video games, and but I don't consider myself a gamer. I don't have any sort of gaming system. The last one that I had was when I still lived with my parents. We got a Wii for Christmas
Yeah.
in like what 2006, and I was like, "This is the coolest day ever." um, but so I have a Mac. I don't even have a PC. I have a Mac. So there's not a whole lot of games that I can play. But when I thought about streaming on Twitch, Free Rice was the first thing I thought about because I was like, this is a game and it's language and I can use it to like start conversations and teach. But it also is a charity, like you said. It's through the World Food Program, which actually just this year won a Nobel Peace Prize for the work that they do around the world. And Free Rice, yeah, you can do all types of categories, but I think that their category that's the most known is their English vocabulary category, where you can answer questions about vocabulary, and then you're literally donating rice to people around the world with your answers. So I just thought, what better game to start with? And we even have a Logolept group. I can see if I can try to find that code and put it in your chat for anybody who wants
Yes.
to join.
I'll
But
go
yeah,
ahead.
it's definitely so. Free rice is funny, especially because it's kind of a joke that on my streams when we're ready to raid somebody, I search to see if anybody's playing free rice, and of course, no one ever is. I like to joke that I'm the official Twitch free rice streamer. And it's funny how Free Rice, like, I tag them whenever I post on Instagram or Twitter and stuff. So, like, Free Rice knows who I am. And I joke that they should sponsor me, which of course they can't because they're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, of course, wouldn't it be that the first time I get, like, noticing from a possible sponsor, it's a nonprofit. But, like, I do think it's really playing this game and other people on Twitch like have never heard of it and they're like, oh, what's that game? And so then I have the opportunity to share it and share it with other people. And I think that that's been one great thing that's come out of Twitch is that a whole lot more people seem to know about Free Rice now. With Duolingo, there's actually a pretty extensive group of Duolingo streamers. Like I said, they have their own team.
Yes.
I'm part of their Twitch program, and I've met several of the other Duolingo streamers. And in fact, it's kind of funny. Earlier this year, I had just a random massive raid of like almost 400 people through a streamer named Papa Gut. And he was just looking for some small streamer to raid, and I was doing Duolingo, and apparently someone in his chat, who's now like a regular person in my community, was like, you should raid somebody Duolingo, that'd be funny. And he was like, people stream that? And then he saw me streaming, and he was like, yeah, let's go, whatever, this seems fun and stupid. So they raided me, and they were just all amazed. They were like, people stream Duolingo? But it is interesting because we share our language learning goals and the things that we accomplish, and we kind of encourage each other on. And we just we're just language nerds. We just get excited about like things that we learn and things that we notice, and we laugh at Duolingo a lot. So it's definitely a unique experience, but I love it, and I think that's a great place to do it.
By the way, if any of you sponsors who are watching this stream right now, I want you to sponsor Taffy, please. She's a great person. She's a great person to spread awareness through language and knowledge about everything. So if any of you watching right now, please sponsor Taffy. Please, she loves you.
I have actually talked to someone at Free Rice, and I was like, hey, I know that y'all can't sponsor me, but like, I'd be happy to volunteer with you all if you all need me to help raise awareness or even do some sort of like advertising for you. I would love to do that because I'm pretty much doing it already. But I was like, if there's anything bigger that I can help with, please let me know. And like Free Rice, I consider it one of my biggest honors that Free Rice on Instagram said that I'm their biggest fan. And I'm like, yes, I am.
Yeah. Yeah. people like you will be going to what do you call this? And then after which you're going to post a video of you on their social media platforms, and then everyone will come over and this get interested
I'll
in
be on
games like
billboards.
Duolingo and Free Rise. Yes, yes. Okay. Now, now, uh, now, looking forward, what are your future plans? I know you are still. I know you are still doing some content on Twitch, and playing
Mhm.
playing games like Duolingo and Free Rise. And I know that you are having some have future plans. So what are your future plans?
Yeah, so we kind of have some, as far as streamer plans go, in the short term, I am trying out some new streams where on Wednesdays, for example, we're doing Wordy Wednesdays where we're kind of playing some well known word games like Words on Stream, but we're also learning about new word games that are available. So I actually just found a bunch on Steam that we're kind of trying out every other Wednesday. So we've kind of got that going on for the next foreseeable future on Wednesdays, trying out different language games. Uh, I have also, so when I did Taffy the Logolept as a podcast for the first time, I spoke to more interviews like that. Maybe even interviewing people in my community that speak other languages. I mean, like you. um, where I would love to interview people and talk about history versus their native language, all that kind of thing. I would like to do that in the future. Um, and as far as personally, Shane and I, my husband and I, we do have plans. So for those who don't know in chat, my husband is from China. We are currently living in the U.S. And my mother-in-law is very sick with cancer, and so we actually were hoping to visit them this year. Of course, that didn't happen. And our plan right now is to move to China next year and live there for at least a couple of years. But because of COVID, kind of in a wait and see sort of situation with that. But we do want to get to China as soon as we can so we can help take care of my mother-in-law um, and have her be with her granddaughter. So that's kind of a big thing on the horizon for me. And when that happens, I don't really know what's going to happen with Twitch because Twitch is banned in China.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So
hard to find Twitch in
I may have to
China.
get a VPN or something.
Yeah, it's hard to find Twitch in China. All you have to do is to VPN and stuff. And there are a lot of
Right.
other
Yeah.
platforms that is similar to Twitch. That for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to recognize some of them because I haven't searched any of them yet. But yeah, Twitch is really hard to find in China because, as you said, as we all
Mm-hmm.
know, that it is banned in China. Oh,
Yeah. So that's our plan right now. Like I said, it's kind of a wait and see. We'll see if 2021 is the year for us to go back. But that's kind of our plan right now.
yeah, oh yeah. I really hope and really looking forward to those plans. And by the way, before we end this interview, I have some quick fire questions that I have prepared just for you. All you have to do is to answer as fast as you can in a span of 1 minute. Uh, are you ready for those
Okay.
quick fire
I could
questions?
I could try this. Yes. I'm having some trouble hearing you, so you may have to repeat. I don't know if I get any extra time for that, but I'll see if I can do it. I'm
Uh,
ready.
okay, I'm ready. Okay, and it in a time of 1 minute. Hold on for just a moment. I have my stopwatch on.
Okay.
Okay, and I have my questions prepared. So let's start right Now, okay. KF. Okay, wait, oh, wait. Let me hold on.
I'm holding.
Hold on, something. Hold on, I'm having some issues with the with some technical. I am having some technical issues. Hold on for just a moment. Let me restart the time.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Timer starts now. Marvel or DC?
All the way.
KFC or Popeyes?
See,
Three things you can't live without. Three things you
three things I can't live without. Is that what you said?
three things you cannot live without.
Okay. Family, computer, Wi-Fi.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke, I guess. Really neither, but Coke, sure.
One word to describe yourself.
Weird.
Favorite superhero.
Oh, Batman, for sure.
Favorite musician.
David Gray.
Favorite genre.
Favorite genre. Sci-fi?
Hmm.
Magical realism. I'm gonna be
Okay.
more specific.
Okay. Favorite movie.
Oh man. Elizabethtown.
And that's it. That's the time. 1 minute has been passed. And
Yay.
yeah, but there are lots. I have lots of questions prepared, but we just reached the span of 1 minute. But it's all right. And uh, time and for interviewing you. Anything to say before we end this interview? Anything? You want to promote your
No,
stream?
not really. Thank you. I didn't realize this was your first interview on Twitch, so I'm super honored that I'm your first person interview.
Yep, it's a great honor to interview, and I'm really looking forward to be on your streams, from if I have the opportunity, if the opportunity comes.
Sure. Hey, do what you can, and if you can't make it, that's all fine. I know that you're supportive, and that means a lot.
Yeah, thank yeah, thank you so much, Taffy the Logolept. Once again, Taffy the Logolept. If you want to check out her streams, go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Taffy the Logolept. I'm going to shout you out right now.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, just while you're doing that, I guess I can say my schedule kind of. I stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, sometimes Saturdays. Um, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are all at the same time. It's around 1:30 Central. And then Saturdays, if they happen, are around 8 p.m. Central. And if you don't remember that, you can always check out my channel. The schedule's there.
Since it's afternoon on your time zone, which means it's very late night on my time, but I have the time to stop by on your streams. Okay, once again, Taffy the Logolept. I'll be right back in just a couple of moments. uh Hope.
All right, thank you.
Okay, hold on for just a moment. I'll be right back. Chat.
Tapos na.
Di pa. Man, wow. Okay, we're back. Yep, that was TaffyTheLogolept. So off stream, we had a short talk with her, and while during the short talk, she had the chance to talk with my brother who is about to go, who is about to head to work, and I'm really looking forward to chat with Taffy and to stop by on her streams. Yep, she said that she will be streaming this week, so if you have the chance to stop by on her streams, feel free to stop by on her streams. Twitch.tv/TaffyTheLogolept. Okay, going to shout out once again. I hope the chat is working. The internet here is very very slow at the moment. It's not because it's the Christmas season. It's because it's really really slow. And I don't know about you guys, whether I don't know about you whether or not it's slow, but yeah, here the internet here is really really slow and it sucks. So yeah, next stream will be Tuesday, as Taffy said in the chat. Uh, I hope you come by to come by and join her streams. Her streams are very very wonderful and also interesting. Uh, there are lots of streams like Lingo to meet her community, the Logo Labs. So if you have the time, please feel free to check out her channel, her Twitch. And not only her Twitch, but don't forget to follow her Twitter. I'm going to type in her Twitter TaffyLogolept, and on Instagram TaffyTheLogolept. Okay, I'm going to type in the chat right now. Well, yep, that's her social media accounts. Yep, no problem. Glad to support. I'm so glad to support every streamer out there on Twitch, along with our streamer friends out there. But anyways, I think that's all the time that we have for this day 7 of our streams. I may be nervous, but I'm so glad to interview her. Tomorrow I'm going to interview Mega Gremlin, who is from the Connection Project, who I stopped by on his stream just moments ago before I go live. And after the interview, I'm going to do some other streams. Day 9, I'll be playing 8 ball pool. I hope I could stream on my PC. And day 10, I'll be doing another art stream. I'm going to continue my art edit of my dream streamer room. And as for day 11 and 12, it will be a 2-part Christmas streams. Details are not yet final, so but I will provide you with some update within tomorrow. And by the way, after the Christmas stream ends, after I'll be doing one more stream, which is the last stream of 2020. It will be next week on the 28th of December. I'll be doing another stream with Paige Shelby. We will be playing Words of Friends 2. As for the time, it's not yet scheduled, but I'll be posting it on social media. So yeah, that's all the time that we have for the stream. I hope you enjoy. And we are going to raid. Oh, by the way, we're going to raid that cyber channel. Before we raid, we have our raid call. So for those of you who are here and wants to join the raid, feel free to join the raid. You can spam your emotes for not just on my channel but for every channel. You can spam your emotes that you have because we're about to raid that cyber channel. Okay. So once again, thank you so much for stopping by to the streams. Always remember, take care of yourselves, be kind to one another, look out to each other, stay safe, stay awesome, stay badass. Wear your face mask, stay protected, enjoy your Christmas week. Love, hugs, high fives, and fist bumps to all. See you tomorrow for the interview, and have a good one.